Friends, hello, welcome back. Oh, I need to turn the camera back on. Give me a sec. There we go. There we go. I'm back. Hello. Hi. Back with Elden Ring. Back with the Elden Ring A-Z. It's time to step back into the world of the Anvillain, who, when we last saw him, had just made it to the DLC. With the Bloodhound's Fang in hand. Shy, thank you so much for the 41 months if you're still here. So I've done a little bit of leveling up in between streams here, just so I can get my stats to the point where I have enough faith and intelligence to wield the Anvil Hammer. It's going to be a very easy trip to get it. We don't need to pick up any Shadow Tree fragments. We just need to get past the Furnace Golem so that we can head towards Castle Ensis and then take a right. And then once we're inside the Forge, we shouldn't need to fight too much stuff there either. There is, I believe, a smithing stone there that we can get that will make things a lot easier for us, because I also spent about half an hour going and gathering some more somber smithing stones. Since the Anvil Hammer is a somber weapon, I figured gathering the somber smithing stones in between would not be too bad, and that way we can just get to fighting these bosses and doing our thing. And so I went to the sewers in Leyndell to get a few more smithing stones there. I bought 4 more from EG. I went to Kindred to grab the one from the Graven Mass in Aeonia Swamp. And then I think we should be able to get a Somber Smithing Stone 6 or 7. I forget which one evaded us. I think it's the 6. I should be able to get that from running around inside the Ruined Forge, which is just over there. You can see the building there with the archway. That is where we're headed. But before that, we have to cross this Great Bridge, which means we have to get shot at. But that should be fine. And now we head down here to the right. It's funny how much all the red mushrooms stand out, but they are they're not collectible. What are they called? Consumables. So you probably need to find out where they are. So around here, previously we've gone down through this natural archway into the Poison Swamp so we can get to the Shadow Altus Plateau. In this case, we are headed up here past all of these blood fiends and soldiers fighting, and we just need to make our way into this doorway in front of us, or rather this hole in the wall. How goes the Elden Ring? We have just started and it's going very well so far because I haven't died, so that means something is going right at least. So down here, this ghost will tell us that the Ultra of the Forge cannot be far. It's basically up there. Like, that's where we need to get to. But this place requires you to lower this giant pipe from the ceiling and climb up it to get to the goal here. So what we're going to do is run around a little bit. We're going to ignore all of the smith golems. I'm probably going to grab a few of these smithing stones and bits and pieces, because it's nice to have them just in case we end up needing to level something else. I believe the Frenzied Flame seal, which we might end up getting on this stream, depending on how much progress we can make, will also require somber smithing stones to upgrade. So if I grab any more throughout here, then good. Otherwise, we will be looking for somber smithing stones in other places later anyway. So we're going to drop down here. Where we want to get to is just up here, I believe. But again, I'm going to quickly take a quick look around. Grab any smithing stones that I can spot. Again, there are smith golems around here who I want to avoid disturbing if possible, but there's always going to be... There we go. We got a Somber 2 from that, so that's one more we don't have to buy from good old EG. Ow. Yep, yep, you're all very strong. I bet this guy's, like, standing watching a bunch here as well, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. These guys are definitely strong. So if we do a little run around, just want to make sure I've got all of the things that I can. There's also Smith script weapons here, which are always really fun to play around with. If you ever get a chance to use them, highly recommend. Especially the hammer. I don't know if this... Oh yeah, this doesn't take us anywhere right now, because that's where we have to pull the lever. Hey, Koi Fish, welcome in. Alright, so we're just going to be dodging around these guys. We need to head back through here. The lever isn't in, like, one of these side passages this time. It's in a completely different spot. We have to climb up these stairs here. Problem is my stamina's going to keep running out because of the amount of enemies that are aggro on me. Oh yeah, the Potentate's cookbooks are here too. We'll deal with that another time. Yeah, we want to come up here. There's some stuff over here to the left. Smithing Stone 7 right there. A couple more of these. If we climb down this ladder... Grab this, get that. We don't need the glass shard, really, but... Now, this lever lowers this down from the ceiling. We have to wait for it to descend, because... if you fall into the lava, it does quite a bit of damage to you here, compared to... in the, base game areas where there's lava. Alright, we just about made it to there. Now we run all the way up this thing. And for whatever reason, being on top of this makes it impossible for you to write messages for some reason. But this is our goal, and that is our weapon. So now we could leave here if we wanted to. However, I do want to stick around and see if I can get hold of another Somber 6, but look at this thing. Look at this weapon, friends. I will illuminate myself so you can see it in all its glory. It is an absolute beast. The Pancake Maker has arrived. And it's obviously not doing a ton of damage right now because I haven't upgraded it at all, and I think these enemies are even resistant to the type of damage this deals. Not to mention the fact that I'm nerfed because I don't have any Shadow Tree fragments here in the DLC area, but man, this thing hits hard. It's just so meaty. Oh yeah, that's the mechanism by which it is elevated up here. Now, if we hop down here, that's the entrance, right? So I guess that's everything. I thought there was a Somber 6 here. Let me quickly look that up, because I'm pretty certain when I looked it up online it said there was a Somber 6 in this forge. Okay, Somber 6, here we go. Runeforge lava intake. Take the first ladder down past the golem. After the fire blob, turn left. You'll find a room with a golem sitting in this room. You'll find it near the back wall alongside the gas stone. Okay. So, like, after the first ladder, we should be able to... Is this turn left? Was it here? Is it? Or maybe it was in the the next room with the golem. Down here, turn left, maybe. No, we've been here. There's a corpse right there that maybe has some stuff. We've got everything there. Pretty sure we've had everything that this golem is standing in front of. The somber smithing stones always look slightly paler as well, so that's usually a good indication. Oh, here we are. What about this? Yes, there it is. Okay, perfect, perfect. Good, good, good. So now I can warp out. In fact, I can warp all the way back to the Lands Between, because we are done with the DLC for now. Although, we will be coming back to get the... let's go to Roundtable Hold. We will be coming back to getting the Twin Sword Talisman, or the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, rather, because there's absolutely no way we're not using this weapon two-handed.
Oh, this I can't very well. It is said. Allow you, a house guest. Remember you. There's nothing.
So now we have to progress Gideon so that he's in the corridor over here, so that Nefeli will be there, because we've already gotten ourselves into Leyndell. Nefeli is here to give us the Arsenal charm.
You again. I thought you'd receive the Nefeli loop. I'm glad to see you found it. You were the one to make good use of it. I don't intend.
Which is great. We'll leave her there for now, although we might go and find her at Albinoric Village later. We'll set up with spirit tuning as well.
My name isn't this the Roundtable? I never knew, although I'm still looking.
I'm also going to, by the way, turn up the volume ever so slightly. Let me know if it gets too loud at any point, but I think most of the time it helps to have the volume just slightly louder for the sake of some more of this being audible over my commentary, at least. Okay, now we're only lacking the Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, so for that we can kill one of the Ghost Flame Dragons in the DLC area, which probably requires us to level up our Shadow Tree fragments a little bit. Or we can wait until Farum Azula.
She has a gift. I saw in her eye.
So Hugh now thinks Rodrika is a viable candidate to be a Spirit Tuner.
It's all I'm still looking. Your dad, I don't believe. If I do, I suppose I'll ask my...
Who's this wizard just running around in circles over here?
Back all no matter. Look up. Are you who'd step absurd? I don't...
Alright, cool. Now we should have spirit tuning all set up. Back to the DLC. And I guess from here we can keep going. We need to ride all the way around to Raw Base to get the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, so that's going to take us on a little journey up the Spirit Spring to Fort of Reprimand. But this should be easy enough, provided I don't die of full damage falling off the wrong cliffs. Is there a Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone in Mohg Palace? There is. I've already used it to upgrade the Bloodhound's Fang, so we could get to the DLC in under 2 hours. Using Soul Obsession's method from YouTube. So, unfortunately, that one is already spoken for. In future, I might try and route a way around using that one so that we could use it. Use the the final somber on whatever weapons we're using for the run, but it means having to get my overall weapon damage up differently to make sure that we can still stunlock Mohg. Alright, cool. Now this feels like a weapon that could just casually knock over a pile of rocks like that. Meteoric Hammer, Anvil Hammer. We had Meteoric or Greatsword for our first DLC weapon. This is Anvil Hammer, which is so satisfying to use, dude. Like, I'm going to fight this Omenkiller just for fun, with no Shadow Tree fragments whatsoever. And he's going to kill me, but that's fine. How does the horse jump like that? Spirit Springs. It's like a proper anvil on a stick. That's an Anvil Hammer. It is. The Ash of War on this is also wild. It creates all of these spikes that deal additional damage, so you hit something with this overhead, and then the spikes come up and... deal additional damage. Especially if they, like, move through them. So it actually creates almost like D&D style difficult terrain for your opponent. So that's pretty cool. Get wrecked. Blessed Bone Shards. So yeah, that only took, like, most of my flasks. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Gonna kill this guy for fun? Asterisk? Yeah, uh-huh. The asterisk is after a couple of tries. Oh, he got me on the way down. You absolute blighter. Just gonna get on my horse. Now the real question is, do we want to try and let these guys here kill this Ghost Flame Dragon so that we can get a Somber from this? Because I don't think they'll be able to. They're dealing like 20 damage at a time. It is absolutely destroying them. Yeah, something tells me that's not going to work out for them. Okay, that's fair. It's not going to work out for me really either because I have no Shadow Tree fragments, so I'll probably also be doing 60 damage, but worth consideration. Some people thought the Anvil Hammer was this weapon that the local equivalent of the Tree Sentinels use, but that does not seem to be the case. I forget what that one is called, but it's some sort of hammer. Okay, I think that guy's following me. Should be a little careful here, because I do want to get to this Grace. Where Loretta is here already, along with Horn Scent. Which is interesting because we haven't met Horn Scent at the. I guess we did get the Grace by the other cross, but. To make demon statues from clay when you were young. Are you Rita Repulsa? Sounds like a very Rita Repulsa thing to do. So here's the question. Here's something that I'm not 100% certain of. How do we get to Raw Ruins from here? I think it's this way. I think you actually go, like, underneath some of this. This is another thing about the DLC that really threw me initially, is that there are some areas, pretty large areas, where there's only one way to get there, versus the main game where there's, like, teleporters all over the place that'll take you to weird locations and multiple routes into stuff. Sometimes it's just like, hey, explore enough until you find this one tunnel. I'm just not used to that. But apparently that's more typical of the Dark Souls games. I mostly just wanted to avoid these worms, because they creep me out slightly. Becca Star Eyes, thanks so much for the 41. Welcome back. God, my nose is really itchy. Sorry about this. Oh. We'll take the runes. We'll ignore the perfumers. Even though, I don't know, I could probably take them. Has today been Elden Ring, or did you miss Fantasy SMP or Survival Guide already? Fantasy SMP was the first stream today. I have started streaming a little earlier in the day if it's nice out, mostly because it's nice to finish when there's still some light in the sky and I can maybe get some stuff done. Now that we've been streaming Elden Ring as well as Minecraft on most of these days, I don't always like finishing at 9 PM, which is where we'd probably end up if I did 2-3 hour streams back to back, so I've been trying to moderate how much time I'm spending there, and a little bit more goes into like making dinner and having a nice evening. And half the time, like, I can't really get started on something before 3 PM anyway, depending on what time I wake up, so. Have to go back and watch the VOD later. As usual, they're going to be uploaded to Pixel VODs, hopefully a couple of days after the stream at the latest. I still have a tiny backlog from last week to work through, but hopefully that should be taken care of sooner or later. Oh yeah, the golems here. I forgot about the golems. And now it's loading all of the scenery over here, so it's jittering slightly. This should be fun, though. Let's take out one of these guys with our new weapon. Yeah, this definitely feels like the kind of weapon that can take down a creature like this. Oh. Love to be able to do thousands of damage at a time. They always follow up that attack with flames, so I will step back here for a second and hit him in the ankles. Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's right. You're impatient, so you've just been watching the Twitch VODs? Honestly, my preferred way of watching VODs, because then you get chat as well, and chat is always great. This thing does so much, like, poise damage. I'm taking out the golem a second time before it even has a chance to stand up. That is incredible, honestly. Well, dang. I like to see chat on VODs too. Chat is just funny. That's the thing about Twitch chat in general is that, like, that's where all the good jokes are going on. Yeah, so we can unlock the Spirit Spring here if we want to, but we'll get our only map fragment of the DLC here. It's raw! We'll break that pot specifically. And then we need to come around here and we're going to raid this chest, which you might remember from last time we were here when we got the Ancient Meteoric Ore Greatsword. This talisman is going to be an essential one for the run. just because of how much damage we deal with the Anvil Hammer. And we're going to rob it from this guy, who's probably going to try and kill us the first time around. Yep. Let me through with my horse. Joke's on you, I already got it. Okay, he's definitely going to kill me if I let him hit me. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's probably enough runes to level me up at this stage, because I'm still only level like 70-something, maybe 80. So I might go back and get those runes and then leave. But yeah, this thing is hefty, but it's not hefty enough to, like, stagger those guys immediately, because they are the elites of the DLC. These horned warriors are really, really tough. In fact, a lot of the enemies that give people the hardest time over the final dungeon of the game, of the DLC at least, is, like, variants on those horned warriors, who are present on the lead up to the final boss and will absolutely smash your face in. Well, we just gave that guy the jukes, so time to go. I think we can safely drop off the back here. Yeah, perfect. Just wanted an area that wouldn't give us too much full damage. There's a handy grace here in case we needed to reset aggro, which sometimes happens, but in this case, we are all set. Divine Line Warriors are wild. Yeah. Especially the lightning one. The lightning one and the frost one gave me trouble. The wind one was okay. So we're going to continue to level strength. Because right now, we can't, strictly speaking, use this weapon unless we're two-handing or we have Radagon's Source Seal equipped. And I don't want to be two-handing all of the time because I want to be able to use incantations. We're using the Finger Seal right now, but our next stop is going to be Leyndell, where we can defeat Morgott and then go and see the Three Fingers. But before that, we want to travel to the Bridge of Sacrifice so we can do Irina Edgar's quest. Equipped as we are with this weapon, which will make it more than possible for us to do this.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please?
So Irina's going to give us a letter.
But I swear, my good father decided himself. The servants, they've since come. I fear it's no lease. Would you mind taking my soul wish, please? Thank you. Then
One of the things I love about this weapon as well is how big it looks when you're just looking over the character's shoulder like this. It's wild, man. Interesting to see how far in we keep the Confessor Cape. We'll see, because I don't have an armor set in mind for this guy. It might end up being the fingerprint armor, so we would have to go and fight Vyke's Everjail in Mountaintops, but even that is going to be like right before Fire Giants, so we're obviously going to be sticking with the Confessor for a while. And honestly, I think having a cape gives this guy a certain aura. Like, he has a certain villainous vibe about him that I think is not going to be as effective without a cape, you know? The whole Confessor class feels quite sinister in a way that I think really fits the villain. And make no mistake, we are Anvilin. One of the other villainous decisions I plan on making also involves us actually starting Rani's quest, even though I don't intend to finish it necessarily. So I'm kind of curious to see how that will go. Didn't even need to stagger that one. And villain? Yeah, that's the character's name. Okie doke, let's go and see Edgar. I want to be able to do the grafted greatsword fight, the Leonine Misbegotten fight. So we're gonna follow through with Edgar's quest line and do all of the stuff that they want you to do. The other great thing about this weapon for like a madness themed build as well is that honestly the like shafts of fire or whatever it is, like the glowing parts of the weapon really do feel kind of like they have the same glow as the Frenzied Flame does. Like it's that yellowish orange fire that just really reminds me of the Frenzied Flame. So I think once our eyes are glowing, the weapon is glowing, like it's gonna look like everything is of a piece, you know? I live for these name puns. There's a reason I like games like Ace Attorney. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's, Oh, I don't have the Faith Not Crystal tier yet, so I can't use that. Let's just do Flame of Frenzy on these guys. It's the flying ones that are the problem. Like, I always have trouble fighting these guys when I'm a melee class, but I can just knock them out of the sky with this. They get up so slowly as well. It's so fun just clocking them with this thing. Unbuffed, from what I understand, like without any kind of elemental buffs and specific stuff related to other weapons, this weapon, fully upgraded, has the highest attack rating of any weapon in the game. So, it's another reason I've been looking forward to this. It's just hefty. But right now we've upgraded it to +9, and it's obviously one-shotting most things because this is the early game area. Hey, things that fly in this game, they're so annoying to deal with. They are. What up, Edgar?
I'm Edgar, but you can see menial. They gave me good. I'm sorry, but whatever. Take this.
Thanks for the twig, man.
I see. Thank you, but I can't, even if the castle to ensure that. If you see her father.
Right. So, off to fight Leonine Misbegotten. You can just kill Edgar here, but I think it is, if anything, more villainous to let him discover his daughter has been killed by Misbegotten and go mad. Does the Anvil Hammer slow you down? Nope. I'm still a medium roll, thanks to the fact that I have a decent endurance score. If I was to put the Confessor hood on, in fact, even the Finger Maiden hood is like, takes me over the line to being a heavy load. But the attack is really slow because it's just a colossal weapon. Like literally a colossal weapon. Man, it does pretty reasonable damage to slimes, even. Which is always a surprise to me. Besides that, we're not even two-handing it, so... We could be two-handing this thing. We could equip the two-handed sword Talisman. Radagon's Saw Seal is also helping our endurance, though, so maybe we should just go with... two-handed sword over Carrion Filigree, because I'm not planning on using the Ash of War here a ton. Like, it's good in some situations, but I think honestly just slugging stuff with the hammer is going to be way more fun. How heavy the hammer looks when he's fighting compared to how nimble he seems when he's running around. Yeah, right. I think he's just letting the momentum help him whenever he's running, whereas, yeah, it's a difficult weapon to wield as a weapon, you know? Had you had a rat problem? That's another cool thing as well, like the roll and poke for this gives you a slightly faster attack. Like, I don't know how it works with a... Yeah, the R2 is just the same kind of swing, but if you roll and then R1, you just kind of, like, donk the spike that's on the end of this, like the end of the handle or whatever it would be, into whatever's directly in front of you, and that's going to be a really fun attack to use against some of the endgame bosses, like Radagon or whoever, where you're rolling behind them a lot and then just, like, swing. That's going to be really good. We'll drop off the bridge here instead of fighting all of that garbage. We could summon Edgar for this because we've talked to him, but I think instead we're just going to roll through and fight this guy. Get 3-shot, buddy. The Anvillain's in town. And he means business. Alright. So now we'll return to Edgar. Job done. So far, how long does it take you to finish one of these playthroughs on average? On average, I think our completion time is something like 12 to 15 hours. The last couple of playthroughs were quicker. Even the bow playthrough wasn't that bad, and the Antspur Rapier playthrough was our fastest yet. It came in at just over 10 hours. So that's like just over 3 streams per weapon. It's pretty good. It complicates things slightly if I add extra conditions. Like on this, we're doing the Frenzied Flame ending, so I can't just make a beeline for the end game. I do want to, like, finish some aspects of the storyline to get a specific ending. But there's some fun we can have with that. And I think later on, future playthroughs will have us finishing in, like, under 10 hours. Possibly even 3 streams will be enough for some of them. But we're still limited to how many times I can stream this per week. Obviously, Elden Ring is not my main gig, so I can't be playing this all of the time, and there are 408 weapons. We're on weapon number 8, so it's still going to take me several years if we ever follow through and complete all of these, you know? Yeah, nice try. Oh, didn't realize that guy was still alive. Looked like his health bar was gone. Yeah, you think a shield is going to stop this? This ridiculous weapon? Some are a serious pain to get too. I mean, I've already done the Albinauric bow, which was the worst thing to farm from archers and then have to complete a run with a bow.
I'm for keeping them no longer unsafe.
Alright. So now Edgar should go and find Irina. I think your favorite pun so far from this whole challenge is Jessica Albinauric. I'm still pretty proud of the Anvillain, but Jessica Albinauric is some of my best work, I think.
Irina, how could this be? My daughter did fought like I should, and oh, the foul! I'll hunt them, rest assured.
Okay, so now we need to go and see Hyetta, who should be around now that Irina is dead. Nobleman's S-Stock was a real pain to get it to drop. Some people get it to drop early. That one took a bit to get for you. Yeah, I think there's some stuff you can do to make it favorable for you, but you can't really get the accessory, the silver scarab, I think it is, that gets you like extra item discovery until you're in like the consecrated snowfields. So it's
Hello, my name
it's a real hard one.
So would you donate my eyesight has been, but when I eat one, it will lead me. Oh, now I can. You are most
So we got the
kind,
Shibriri
Lord.
grape that's immediately opposite this. We can go to Purified Ruins over here and get the second one. We can go fight Edgar the Revenger and get the third. And then we already have the fingerprint grape from Vyke, so that's everything we need to do before we go and see the Three Fingers. Aside from fight Morgott, because you can't actually get into the Three Fingers catacombs until you fought Morgott. Like, it's sealed by Morgott specifically.
Hello? Would you donate? I'm on a pilgrimage, and when I eat one...
So up here, in this building... no trumpet players. Alright. Easily done. So this cellar down here has our second fingerprint grape, or Shabriri grape, rather. Which is just there. I can't remember what this is. I think it's a talisman of some kind. Yeah, 2 fingers. So that's faith-based, actually. Might work quite well for this character. Especially once we ditch the Source Seal. But I need a couple more levels to go into Endurance before I can reasonably do that, because I don't want to heavy roll. Or really unequip any of this armor.
Hello? Would you donate? I'm on a pilgrim when I eat... You're not like they rest there, howling, they're frail, but you... You are most... May the blessing...
Alright. So now we've taken care of fingerprint grape number 2, or Shabriri grape number 2. Temple Quarter seems like the next stop. Inhales with a trumpet, immediately dies. So yeah, we're headed up to this little spot here, where those jagged rocks are, and that's where Edgar's shack is. Who do you reckon's gonna win? Edgar with his pike staff? Or the Anvilin? He attacked the pillar. he literally just went dink off the pillar. It was the only thing he did in that fight. Well, GG. I guess now, yeah, we'll ride through town so we can get the map for Leonia. One hit nearly squished him, yeah. In Invader terms, it was like he opened the front door to see who was there and just immediately got flattened. We rung his bell. Dude, this thing kills the guards here when I'm just, like, dragging it along the floor. Well, this lot are gonna die. I just wanted to do that to one person, and I got stuck on everybody else in the process. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Anvil on a stick? I have now, and I'm listening. Yeah, an unstoppable force just met an immovable object. So somewhere around here, yes, it is like just over this hill, or the ridge of this house, is the map. And I'll grab this grace. I don't think I'll be back here, but you never know. The main thing I need to do is now head this way to get there, because that's where our next meeting with Hyetta is. Easiest thing to do is just find this bridge. I didn't think that was actually going to hit him, but it did. Any colossal weapon attack where you can knock them up into the air like that is so satisfying, but with the Anvil Hammer, it's like a whole new thing. And wouldn't you know it, right on cue, just over here, is the lady we're looking for.
Listen, would you donate them on a pilgrim when I eat? Oh, now I can feel the distant light once more. That aside, I wonder what Shabriri grapes really are. Delectably tender and sweet, yet searing. What a sight they must be to behold.
They're human eyes.
No. That's not possible. Not all of those people. Their own... So those noises I heard were... Sorry. I'm alright now. Don't mind me. I apologize. I'll be fine.
Yeah, always everyone's favorite scene when you're doing the Frenzied Flame stuff. But now once Hyetta has had a chance to compose herself...
Ah, I've gleaned something very important indeed, thanks to you. The reason why it was eyes I had to eat, the distant light, is far and frail. So faint it can't be seen by the naked eye. But with everyone's eyes together, it appears. Finally, it all makes sense, I'm certain now. I will be a finger maiden.
But how many fingers is what we need to ask ourselves. Well, fortunately enough, Hyetta should now move on, I think. Yeah, she's not there anymore. Great. So now we need to head to Bellum Church, which we've already stopped over at because we got the Grace and the Sacred Tear from there. And this is where we give her the Fingerprint Grape, which we already got from Vyke.
Oh, hello. Is that you over there?
How can you tell? Was it the anvil?
Fingerprint. They're special. I would truly love the distant light, but I can't sense a please. Without one, Oh, a fingerprint grape. Tried and true. Oh, how sweet. Yet, how it burns. Thank you. May the blessing of the... Thank you. I'm sure I'll be...
Alright. That's that taken care of. And now we head to Leyndell. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. We could have done Yura's whole quest line. But, like, if you've just met Yura, at least I think Shabriri has the same dialogue, so... We need to head to Avenue Balcony. We're going to go and fight Godfrey, and then Morgott, and then we're going to go to the sewers. The reason we need to do Hyetta's whole thing anyway, because it is possible to just go and find the Three Fingers and get branded with the Frenzied Flame anytime you want to. The reason we need to do it that way... Oh, of course, we need to head through here anyway. Is because Hyetta gives you the Frenzied Flame seal at the end of her questline. And I would like to use that for this character. Because we're already committing to using the Frenzied Flame incantations, and... that boosts the efficacy of Frenzied Flame incantations. Thank you. We also haven't activated any of the Great Runes yet, so we could maybe do that. Eyes are actually extremely tough. Yeah. Yeah, they're not just like the squishy jelly sacks that you think of, so... Irina has more fortitude... Oh, sorry, Hyetta has more fortitude than she's giving herself credit for. Still gross, though. Man, I love that as a counter. I'm going to use that so much. Roll and then R1. So good. This is already one of my favorite weapons now. It's just hefty, and I never used colossal weapons really before this. Before Meteoric or Greatsword, so I think this is going to be a really fun playthrough. The fact that we're able to get it relatively early as well just makes this all the sweeter. Sick, dude. So good. Who had to eat a large number of spider eyes on Hermitcraft? That was an etho thing that became a doc thing. Okay, we won't bother doing that with all of them, because this weapon attacking slow might actually contribute to how slowly this run goes, if I stop and kill all of these guys. Let's just move on. Oh. A little bit jittery as it loads the fight. And up we go. First time seeing this hammer, and it's so silly in the coolest way. It really is. Get ready for this fight. Okay, it's all jump attacks with the heaviest weapons possible, this fight. Okay, need to drink. Oh, I almost got him there, but there we go. All right. The amount of like just earth-shattering attacks that were going on was a bit ridiculous. Oh, wild. Alright, we can raise faith, we can get warrior jar shard for the skills. FP consumed by skills. Honestly, raising faith will be good because it will get me access to the 2 Frenzied Flame incantations I couldn't use. Actually, no, Howl of Shabriri is still more expensive, but I think it's only like 1 point away. Like a thunderstorm over there? Sure is. We'll get the endurance up a little bit. So I've done no, like, aside from a little bit of leveling at the Mohg Palace bird farm, I've not done a great deal of other, like, XP gathering stuff at this point. Like, I've more or less just got the points that I need to wield this weapon. We're going to put the Dex Not tier into Faith now. But we're going in fairly under-leveled for Morgott, I would say. I mean, maybe at level. Like, 83 is still Like, it's absurd that you beat Mohg at, like, level 70-something, but Morgott seems like a more even challenge. Especially considering that this weapon attacks slow and Morgott moves fast. Is it possible to refight bosses? Only on New Game Plus. There isn't, like, a boss rush mode or anything, or you can't, like, resummon anything in this game. I think the closest you could probably get would be if the boss is repeated later, which is the case with... like Godfrey, or Godric rather. Well, Godfrey, I guess technically too, but his fight is slightly different. And then Godric's fight is slightly different in that the Evergaol version of him, which is Godfroy the Grafted, the most absurd decision FromSoft ever made in a lot of people's opinion. He's not got the second face. He doesn't have the dragon arm. We can just about get there, I think, with the runes that I have. Yeah, nice. Cool. And we'll put one into... Honestly, Strength or Faith is going to really work for us now. We need to be leveling both, but I'll put it into Strength. For the moment. If we can get both to 60, this thing is going to be absolutely absurd. We are still taking a bit of a hit in damage from the Saw Seal, but it's going to give us a little bit of a lift until we finish Morgott. Let's watch the cutscene for this one.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Ah, Godric the Golden. The twin prodigies, Omenkiller and Melina. General Radahn, Praetor Rykard, Luna Princess Rani.
Amazing that of all of those, Rani is the only one that we don't have a fight with. Like, we don't kill.
All.
Not used a big hammer in the game yet. You'll like this one, Kev. You'll like this one.
Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Such a cool, like, reveal.
Writ upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgott, last of all kings.
I really wish it rendered the hammer in that scene. That our character was holding the hammer. Oh. So much damage and Morgott's just gonna three-shot me. Yeah, Morgott is so agile that it's actually going to be pretty difficult if I'm just trying to do the heaviest attacks for this fight. We'll go again. We don't have to watch the cutscene this time, so we can get right into it. The hammer is rather slow and cumbersome. It's got its moments. It has a couple of surprisingly fast attacks, but the heavy attacks are all just, like, big, slow swing, right? Mostly it's the recovery time. Like, you have to spend a lot of time picking yourself up after you've swung it. I also have to be better at dodging Morgott's attacks, because he's one of the more agile bosses in the game and has a lot of, like, follow-up things like that that are designed to hit you at range while he moves away. And then he'll follow up with, like, the spear charge that he does, and that's always really tricky. That's when we get him, though. When he's recovering from doing stuff like that. Oh, ow. First time that's hit me in a while, actually. Oh, he's also got a big hammer, though. Oh, I was trying to drink. I was trying to get my health back. He looks so slow in the cutscene. Yeah, he's basically like Yoda in episode 2, where he walks like an old man and then immediately does 700 flips. So I got, I think, 2 hits in for that fight. I'm also, like, again, relatively underleveled, which doesn't make a whole lot of difference in terms of health right now, because you level a lot of health just to get to the DLC via this route, but it makes a difference in terms of the base physical damage that you take, or don't take. I'm going to have to really build more endurance into this character as well, because most of it right now is me having trouble recovering stamina from doing these attacks, and then needing to roll afterwards to evade, and not being able to do that because I've wasted all my stamina getting the initial hit in, which is wild. Because I just can't roll until he's done hitting me. Ow. Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure how close I could be for that to hit me, and turns out pretty close. Ouch. Literally an anvil on a stick? Yep. Alright, we got to phase 2. I reckon we can do it. Morgott is the chairman of the Big Hammer Club. So we could always bust out a couple of incantations if we want to deal a bit of range damage to Morgott, but I just like two-handing this weapon and we get so much of a damage increase from it with the Talisman we have now. That's what I wanted. I just wanted a stagger at some stage. What are you doing with this weapon if you're not staggering stuff with it? That's what I ask. Oh, thought I was far enough away, but I wasn't. Oh, so close. I was within inches of getting him. Boo, boo, I say. All right, one more we'll do it. Oh my gosh, we have like a literal 8-year-old in the chat. Like, get out of here, dude. Grow up. Like, spelling out, like, swears one letter at a time is such Club Penguin behavior, dude. Unbelievable. Come back when you're old enough to say words like that. Oh. Yep, he stunned me right in front of him that time. Let's go again. Okay, he's not even going to get much for phase 2 now. There we go. Alright, that worked out pretty well. That worked out pretty well. Where's my grace to spend my runes? Oh, wait. Yeah, again, I just have to get used to how slow this works against those quicker enemies, and we'll have no trouble. First try. Also, for a couple of these fights, I have summoned Melina to help with this stuff, so it's kind of fun not doing that. What are the different types of bosses? There aren't really types as such. I mean, it's more about, like,
old friend,
their attack patterns and stuff.
Me a moment. You are prevented the thorn, a husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide. Shall I let my share them with me? Your thoughts, your ambitions.
Well, Mel, you're not really going to like my ambitions after this. Because with Morgott gone, we have one destination in mind. We're going to level up our faith a little bit, which is also going to deal massive damage with this thing. That's adding 4. Strength is adding 6 right now. But we need the faith. Our next level up is only a remembrance or 2 away. We're not going to need Radahns. I don't think we're going to need the others either, but... yeah, that's now adding 3. This is now adding 6. Yeah, okay, cool. We're going to go back to Underground Roadside, since we've already been there. And this is a fun route down to a boss that we have technically already fought, albeit under slightly different circumstances. Oh, the fact that bone there always makes a noise that the Omen hears. Don't worry about the rats. We're going down the sewer system. So the trick here is just to jump over all the holes, which is one here. Follow the tunnel around to the right. One here. Roll before you get to this one so you don't end up getting hit by the slugs. Keep going down. There's another Somber Smithing Stone 7 or 8 on the floor here. That Omen always messes up his landing instead of actually Swanton bombing you, which means you get to run through here and out the other side. And there are some people who leave really helpful player messages in front of a section down here implying that you can roll off at a certain point there, land on the platform directly below this, and shortcut to the elevator that you need to take. But I don't feel like trying that over and over again, because it's, if anything, slightly worse than the skip to get to the Radahn arena sooner. It's like really difficult to do. So we are going to be grabbing a few of the items on the way down here. And then we're going to be going down this tunnel, I believe. Past all of these horrendous basilisks. Everyone's least favorite enemies for a reason. Take a right here. And we should be in a big room with an Omen and a ladder. Should we fight this guy? Yeah, let's fight this guy. We fought more Omens than you. Quite successfully now, too. I'm 0 for 2, or 2 for 0 on Omens. 2 for Omens. So now we have Omen Ben to add to our collection. I'll grab this. And we can climb this ladder. Oh, wrong ladder. We need to climb that one. But we can't get to that one yet. We can go across here. I'm pretty sure an imp or something drops from the ceiling over there sometimes, but maybe that's the other direction. This at least unlocks the shortcut, so if we end up goofing this at any point, we can come back. We're going to run up here. Going to kill this guy. Being able to one-shot the imps is very satisfying, let me tell you. Try not to target lock on too many things, 007. Hop on down here. Hit this guy. And then don't freak out when a guy runs out of this room on the right. Nice. We're through the worst of it, I think. There's our shortcut. We hop down this hole and we will be out of here. Now we follow the rat. I'll grab this. And then head down here. Where the rat is no longer of any use to us. And there's definitely one of these that you hop down. I think it's this one. Yeah. How did that work out for you? Anvil calling. It's like Avon, but heavier. And then finally we can walk down this ladder. How do you define beating the game since this part of the map isn't really necessary for defeating Elden Beast and such? This part is really just bonus stuff for this character. I'm not working towards like all remembrances runs or anything because that would take an extra long time and make each playthrough very similar. So what I really want to do is add some variety to my build on each playthrough, and in this case, this character is meant to be a villainous character, so we're going for the Frenzied Flame ending using Frenzied Flame incantations. I think it really works for the weapon. The weapon has this very kind of frenzied glow about it. But I want to get the Frenzied Flame seal so it does more damage for those incantations. And honestly, you can get around most of this game without too many difficulties relatively quickly if you know where you're going. So, yeah, for the first few runs, the RNG Stone run, the Academy Glintstone Staff, the first one, we kind of meandered a little bit. I was like, I don't know what quests I'm going to do. I don't know how we're going to... What sort of conditions we were going to set for it. But then, once we got as far as doing Alabaster Lord's Sword, I sort of decided at that point, well, we can do Rani's quest for that one because it makes sense. You're in the Lake of Rot to get the sword anyway, so we got Rani's ending from that one. Yeah, staggered that one. Ow. Gosh, okay, that was a rough poke. I've got one of those too, it turns out. Oh, okay, wrong one, wrong one. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, okay, just about. Oh man, I always mistime the second roll because the delay on that attack is so intense. Big surprise, Omen character does delayed attacks. What are the odds? There we go, that's the stuff. Oh, and of course he follows up. Okay, one more heal, one more hit. We got him. Nice. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Interesting stuff is, on this fight, he doesn't even talk. Like, that's the interesting part. I'm like, what part of Mohg is this? This is just, like, pure distilled Omen before he's given any sense of, like, purpose. That's so interesting. I'm like, why is he even down here? I mean, because they sent Omens down here, but... So this is a fun point to talk to Melina.
If you intend to claim the Frenzied Flame, I ask that you cease. It is not to be meddled with. It is chaos, devouring life and thought unending. However ruined this world has become, however mired in torment and despair, life endures. Births continue. There is beauty in that, is there not? If you would become Lord, do not deny this notion. Please, leave the Frenzied Flame alone.
Do I look like a man who's going to leave the Frenzied Flame alone? Does the Anvillain look like a man who's going to leave alone the Frenzied Flame? I think not. Even the Erd Tree's favor +1 will not deny me this. So at this point, if you get down here, if you've beaten Mohg the Omen, and you get to this point, that door is completely sealed off, unless you've beaten Morgott. And I only discovered that somewhat recently, when I was testing out a couple of things. So there are a few items down here which I will probably not be getting, because you have to basically bait these enemies into doing this attack and burning like the tents and stuff that are over here. And then you can get access to a couple of the items that are like in the back corners and stuff, right? It's just frustrating and annoying, and I won't do it. So instead, we're going to do our thing rolling down here. Now, there are quick ways of getting down here, actually, that people have discovered lately, which is going to make it very easy if the parkour is a struggle. But on one of these, basically like that, it's kind of difficult to see, but there's like a corpse down there. You can sort of see it in the bottom middle towards the right. That has one of the Frenzied Flame incantations that I would like to get. So we're going to attempt to do the parkour stuff. The problem is, parkour in this game is notoriously tricky, and that's sort of part of priming you for the whole madness thing that this whole area has going on. It's actually even harder to do when you've got a giant anvil for a weapon, so bear with me while I fall to my death a couple of times. Yeah, she does have a very measured response to the Tarnished being, like, very close to destroying the world. If I get to this one here, can I go anywhere from here? Let's put the hammer away for a second so I can see myself. No, I think the only place I could go from here is like that platform over there. Or maybe I could reach that one, but I think this one is kind of screwing me over here. Unless I can jump down to this. Ooh, hello. Okay, so now we jump to the one over there in the corner. Oh, we're not in the corner. See? Yeah, it is nice of them to have a grace at the top. I've only done this once, and I think in seamless co-op it basically breaks the floor out from under you anyway. Like, once you get to the bottom of this area, basically the floor is just supposed to give way. The fast way of doing this is if you go to Raya Lucaria, which we haven't been to yet, and you go down to the bottom of the water wheel, there is a talisman called the, I think, Long-Tailed Cat Talisman or something like that. And that one prevents you from taking fall damage unless the fall would kill you outright. Which it does in a lot of cases here. But if you have that equipped and you just jump down the middle, it breaks the floor. You still die, but then the second time you fall through it, it will just let you land. Which is smart. Oh, also the I guess the soft cotton does that as well. That's good to know. Because that I think I already have some of. But in this case, I want the incantation. So we're going to try this a couple of times. Believe it or not, I've only done the Frenzied Flame ending once, so I'm not as familiar with this section, but I like to think I'm getting better at parkour, if not necessarily good. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, and I should just be able to, like, roll down to this one. Yeah! Inescapable frenzy, baby! And that's where the last item is that you can potentially get. But for that, you have to have an NPC follow you all the way up these stairs, I believe. Like if we jostle one of these guys. There's one of these that will, like, come to life and will burn this. Maybe he's up here? Is it you? Oh, we have the fingerprint shield as well, everyone's favorite. But yeah, that in there, I think is like a cookbook or something. I forget exactly what it is. But either way, now we should just be able to run down here, roll to the floor, and it'll break under us. Which I'd be surprised if it didn't break under the weight of this giant hammer. But here we are, friends. Where we were always meant to be. Yeah, we do just need to bucket clutch it. Yeah, that's how we should do it.
So you're here as well, are you?
How did she get down here? That's the
I
question.
realized as we've talked, I'll be a maiden, and you, surely a lord. Go to the door ahead. After divesting yourself of your possessions, it will surely open, and the three fingers will welcome you. May the flame of chaos find purchase within you. Go to the door. It will surely...
Let's have another quick chat with Melina and see what she thinks about divesting myself of my possessions.
I ask you one more time, please, seek not the Frenzied Flame. As one who strives to become a lord, deny not the lives, the new births of this world. Those who would are not fit to be called lord, when the land they preside over is lifeless. Please, the Lord of Frenzied Flame is no lord at all, when the land they
Alright. Peace. We got a date with destiny, my friends. This man with a loincloth and a dream. He's got a meal with Stephanie. Why is it 3 fingers, dude? Why is it 3 fingers? And he sizes up this situation and is like, sure, why not? Why the heck not? And with that, the fingers burn away, leaving only the man. About to become the villain that he has been destined to be all along. The light of the frenzied flame burning in his eyes. There it is. It is time.
The flame of chaos has nestled within you. Could you please rest your hand upon me? Burn me with the flame to make me your maiden.
So, this bit's kind of gross.
Oh, it burns. My eyes, they're melting.
touch them. The words of the three fingers. As your maiden, allow me to divine them. All that there is came from the one great. Then came fractures, and births, and souls. But the greater will made a mistake. Torment, despair, affliction, every sin, every curse, every one born of the mistake. And so, what was borrowed must be returned, melted all away with the yellow chaos flame, until all is one again. Those who gave me grace howled without words, saying they wished they were never born. Become their lord, take their torment, despair, their affliction, every sin, every curse, and melt it all away. As the Lord of Chaos, no more fractures, no more birth.
And then she spontaneously combusts. Because why wouldn't you? And now we finally have the Frenzied Flame seal. So we can do away with the 2 fingers and accept the seal of the 3, which actually has no requirements. Pretty cool, dude. Pretty cool. Incantation scaling is a D on faith to begin with. It'll improve a little bit, but... And now, an involuntary chat with Melina.
You have inherited the Frenzied Flame. A pity. You are no longer fit. Our journey together ends here. And remember, should you rise as the Lord of Chaos, I will kill you. As sure as night follows day, such is my duty. For allowing you the strength of runes. Goodbye, my companion. Goodbye, Torrent.
And that's it. That's the last we'll see of Melina until the ending. Absolutely wild. Time to suit up and boot up. Let's get out of here. Into Deeproot Depths. Via whichever wall it is. That one. There we go. She's livid. It's funny that she goes through the pleading, desperate kind of lines. Like, I honestly think the voice actor for Melina does such a tremendous job. She goes through that kind of, like, pleading tone that she has right before, like on the last chat you have before you accept the 3 fingers, and then after that she's just back to just cold, emotionless. She's just like a pity, and it's such good acting. Anyway, we missed our chance to go and kill those ants, but you know, maybe we can get them from here. Nice. Worth it for the rune arc and the Newman's rune. Okay, so. Superfast Fag, thank you for gifting a sub to Blackclad. Very kind of you. I'm now having to consider the fact that, yes, I will need to build for mind if I'm using the Frenzied Flame incantations. So I have to maybe gather a little bit more runes in service of getting hold of some FP. What's this? What's this gonna get us? Ooh, more runes. Nice. So, now we're in Deeproot. There's a couple of directions we can take. We could, of course, simply return to the surface. Oh, hello. Man, it's satisfying just being able to smash bugs. yeah, so we can return to the surface. I will head down here and get a grace that's slightly closer to anything vaguely useful. Nice. And there might be a few somber smithing stones around here that we can get, which is great because unless we go for the somber smithing stone bell bearings, I have exhausted a lot of the easier places to get hold of them just by exploring. So getting a couple from Deeproot Depths might be a good strategy long term. Where do we need? We need to go that way, right? Yeah. But can we get onto that branch from here? I guess we can drop down here, right? That doesn't look like too far of a fall, except when it is. Right, well, maybe we'll worry about coming here another time. This is like a lot of tree parkour to do. How many hours do I have in Elden Ring by now? About 680 is where I'm at right now. So yeah, we have route facing cliffs. Grace will... We'll give this one more try, because if we stay on Torrent, we can potentially do some slightly faster movement here. Obviously, some of that movement might end up just being down, but... I'm also not sure how many runes I had when I died, and I might want to keep some of those if I possibly can. So... let us hop down here. Yeah, the glow of the anvil really gives off a slightly different vibe now that we're the Lord of Frenzied Flame. Like, I really like that. Oh, just a rock? Nice. I'll take it. Oh, torrent, torrent. Ugh. Give me a heart attack. Lads, lads, lads. Oh. I got munched. Big damn ants. Yeah, bug slap, just a little bit. Ah, the spray, the acid. Oh. Did we just get a threefer? If that was a threefer, then pretty happy with that, actually. So if we ride all the way down to the bottom of this one... we ride back up that one. Okay, this at least gets us onto quote-unquote dry land. And then I guess we hop up here? Not sure how to get to the bit with Godwyn. Or maybe over that way. Or maybe not, actually. That looks like it ends over there. Again, this is not an area that I come to super often. Like, it's not an every playthrough kind of destination. Really? Really? Do I actually have to cross that one? Or maybe it's just over there. Huh. Yeah, so I'm not as familiar with navigating this whole section, so forgive me if I'm dawdling slightly, just making sure I know where I'm headed. Yes, okay, yes, I remember this part now. Because I always come here from Valiant Gargoyles, not from the shunning grounds. More runes. Also, lots of glove warp farming opportunities down here if we need them, but I am hoping to not need them. Happy Crafter, thanks so much for the 50 months. Okay. So now we are at an impasse of sorts. We can continue on the rolled route. We can go and attempt Fire Giant. I'm pretty severely underleveled. We have fought Godric, Radahn, both versions of Mohg, Morgott, and I'm level 91. Like, I think we could go and farm some more birds. But I think one of the other things I would really like to do is get the Frenzied Flame seal leveled up so I'm doing decent incantation damage. So we're going to head back to EG. We're going to buy some more smithing stones. The map is massive. Oh, it is, yeah. Okay, we got that. Now we need a few thousand more.
Something.
We'll spend this
Something.
so that he can upgrade this to level 4. Now we need to find a smithing stone 5 because we've already got a 6. So, quick search on the wiki. For a Somber 5. We've got the one from Caelid. We've got the one from... Oh, there's one in Jail Cave. The Summon Volcano Manor, Altus Tunnel. Nokron. Sealed Tunnel. North of the Erdtree Sanctuary Site of Grace at Leyndell. Huh. North of Erdtree Sanctuary. In a side room. North of this Grace. So maybe like up on top of this? Because up here I know is the, there's a bow and there's the Golden Order Principia, which you get from, like, here. But it's not up here, is it? That's Celestial Dew. Kick this. I think the Erdtree bow is in the chest here. Yeah. So north of here is just like... If we go down the elevator... Right, because it's not... Oh, it is there. Huh, okay, interesting. There's 3 of them. We need 3 Sombersmithing 5s. That's a little intense. Also, I think Melina is the only one who says anything about you taking the Frenzied Flame, because she's sort of the only one who knows you do it. So now we need 7, 8, 9, and the Ancient Dragon ones. We should get at least one from Farum Azula, which is enough to get the Anvil leveled up. Yeah, right. So yeah, 7s and 8s I think we'll probably get from mountaintops. But I will quickly check and see if there's anywhere we can get them slightly easier. Aside from the DLC. I don't really want to go back to the DLC for all of this stuff, because I don't know exactly where things are. Volcano Manor, Subterranean Shunning Grounds, we got 2 from there already. Noxtella, the Lake of Rot. Forbidden Lands has 1 on a corpse inside the giant skull on the hill before Blackblade Kindred. So we're headed that way anyway. We'll make our way up there. And there's also 1 in Mountaintops. And you also get somber smithing stones from the lions at Castle Sol. So after that we'll look for smithing stone 8s, which are all over the place in the DLC. We've got the one from Dragon Barrow. We've got the one from Shunning Grounds. Lake of Rot, Lake of Rot. On a teleporting scarab near foot of the Forge. Mountaintops of the Giants. The lower level of Ancient Snow Valley Ruins. Oh, I know the one. Yeah, okay. Well, I think we can get 2 from right there, actually, so. Alright then. I'll bite. I need to get practice at burning the Erd Tree. You'll be good practice. Not bad. Forgot I can't ride my horse in the town. I feel like once you've embraced the Chaos Flame, you should just be able to ride a horse anywhere, because, like, what's more chaotic than just riding your horse in places you're not supposed to? A horse loose in a hospital. Dude, I genuinely cannot wait to go and level up some more and see just how much raw attack power this thing has. It's already at 900. Like, the average swing is doing so much damage. And we've got a ton of stat that we can put into Faith so that we can level up our incantations. So, like, absolutely absurd. We weren't even two-handing when we were hitting those guys back there, so I mean... Oh, we got an elevator friend today. Oh no, he's leaving again. I feel like once you activate the elevator, they decide to run off, and it's always really funny to me. Does anyone have any advice for Mohg's second phase? You're struggling? A lot of the attacks are the same. The timing is just different because he's flying for a lot of it. So try and... Like, when you're looking at the patterns, try and think of them as the ground-based patterns, but in the air, and it's about identifying which attacks is which and how to dodge. Because if you're getting to second phase, then you're at least getting past the point where he's dealing a ton of, like, blood loss. The, like, nihil attack is really the only thing you need to be worried about, and then it's all just about dodging them the same way you dodge the attacks on the ground. I say that as somebody who's specialized now in fighting Mohg in a way that basically stun locks him in phase 1 because I don't want to deal with phase 2. It's kind of like Morgott, where he gets way more maneuverable once he's Morgott. Oh yeah. This is where I should have come for the Smithing Stone 6, because, like, it's right there. Honestly, if you're having trouble with Mohg as well, like, use all of the tricks that you can to beat bosses normally. Like, summon the Mimic Tier if you wanna, you know? Especially if Mohg is your gateway to the DLC and you just want to be able to, like, get through it, then there's no harm in it. Welcome in, Spoons. So according to this, there should be a big skull somewhere just before Blackblade Kindred's. Shout out to the Knights Cavalry, by the way. I'm going to wait for the game to not jitter before I try and jump across this narrow series of gaps. Wait, come back here, come back here. There we go. So where is this big skull it was talking about? Is it over here somewhere? Well, the Kindred is already there, so I mean... What have you got over here? Freezing grease. Nice. Some butterflies up there as well. Said something about in the eye of a big skull, and I was like, what? Don't recall ever seeing a big skull up here, but you can't really see very much. So I think we'll just continue on to mountaintops, then we'll find out probably. Guys, something of a pushover when you have such a big weapon. Then again, he does hit pretty hard, so... Want to play Elden Ring someday? I'm happy to learn about the systems beforehand. Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be helpful to have a little bit of advice, but yeah, I feel like the systems are the hardest thing. I think you want to preserve some of the story experience for yourself and just the experience of playing the game, but that's to each their own, of course. What's the average playthrough time been per weapon? So far, I think between 12 and 15 hours. The most recent ones have been pretty quick. Like, we got through Antspur Rapier in 10 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. Like, just over 10 hours. And then, yeah, Ancient Meteorical Greatsword was 10 hours and 30 minutes-ish, so just over 3 streams, basically. And that also doesn't take into account when I spend a little bit of time off-camera leveling for runes, but that's all added to the total playtime, obviously, so I spent some time farming birds. There we go. The faith is starting to pick up on how much damage it's doing now, and it's also helping with the incant scaling, so that'll be helpful. Skip this. Skip that. And here we are. The question is Shabriri here, since we've already gotten the Frenzied Flame? And the answer is no. He's just left behind Yura's armor set, I assume. Yep, there we go. Alright, so on the way up here, I'm fairly certain there is one scarab hanging off a tree that we can shoot down. And we'll be able to get a +7 from that guy. There we go. So we shoot this guy right here. That's a 7. And then we'll get an 8 from the area just after where we crossed the bridge. And then I think I know where a 9 is in Farum Azula, so we'll be pretty much on the way. Although I guess we have had the condition that none of the support weapons get fully leveled up to +10 or +25, so I guess we can probably keep the seal at +9. Maybe shouldn't risk that, because the fire prelates, they do get angry. What's up, Falcon? Welcome in. I'm hearing this noise from somewhere inside the house, and I'm like, what is that? And then I remember that we have a new vacuum cleaner, so I'm probably just not used to the sound of the new vacuum cleaner. Yeah, we got Firebolt in the butt, which is kind of the opposite of the Draconic Tree Sentinel's horse. It has Firebolt in the front half, not the back half. Time for revenge. Doesn't even let me crit because this thing is sunk into the ground. Never mind. A drive-by. Yeah, I think it's this scarab here. Maybe gives you a Somber 8. I don't think I even hit it, but I think just the impact of the weapon nearby, like, stunned it slightly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got a different type of flame going into the Fire Giant fight then. Fire Giant's going to be so interesting with a weapon of this size as well. Like, I think Meteorical Greatsword was pretty fun. But Fire Giant with Anvil Hammer could be absolutely ridiculous. That's close to 2 levels, but not quite. I'll do one more. Yeah, that's really funny. Now we're approaching 39 strength. If I'm not two-handing the weapon, it's like, oh wait, no, you can use this now. If I am two-handing the weapon, it doesn't make as much of a difference. But 859 either way. It's pretty solid. Let's get up to 40 strength. And then we'll level faith until we get to 40, and then we'll do 60 and 160 in the other. We're at more or less 40 vigor anyway, so... just want to explore and try not to die. That is a pretty decent goal with this game, yeah. Just going to check my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Like any of the other stuff that I plan to do. We might go and get some different talismans. And there's other stuff we could do to really work with the madness side of things. Like we could go and get the Black Dumpling Head. We could get the Aged One's Exaltation, which is a whole detour through the DLC that I feel like I might save for a run where I'm going to be less focused on just hitting things with a big hammer. We could very easily get hold of the Phlox Canvas Talisman from Gowry. And then the only other Frenzied Flame incantation I need to get hold of is in Consecrated Snowfield. And we could always give that one a miss, because it does involve doing Albinoric Village and Castle Sol, and doing... like going to Yellow Annex Ruins just for one thing? But I think, honestly, the Anvil Hammer on its own is going to get us through the rest of this. We could also get a couple of support incantations that will make this thing absurdly powerful. Like, if we go and get Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength, it's not quite in line with the Madness First approach to this character, but it could be, honestly, pretty OP if we do. But yeah, there's other support talismans that I think will work better for us than... we're still using Radagon's Saw Seal because it's ridiculous. Like, we've got the Two Fingers Heirloom. We could just level Faith and not worry about that. This is our other date with Destiny, because this is Vyke. But the Vyke, not the Frenzied Flame version of Vyke. He does, however, have the armor set that we want, so... we'll see how we get on with this. Honestly, that roll and hit, so valuable. Yeah, as a counter, unparalleled. Good roll catch too, actually. And a little bit of power armor, maybe. Oh, it feels good. Dragon Bolt spell is fun though. Get pancaked. Do I consider doing a playthrough where I collect or unlock every weapon in the game? People have done it. It takes like 170 hours or something. There's probably a speed run for it, but I I do like the idea of doing a 100% run. What I've decided to do instead is like 101% runs, if that makes any sense. So now we can don the fingerprint armor and really rep the Frenzied Flame. That looks like a villain to me. That looks like a villain to me. with the helmet. Maybe not. Because that does make me a heavy load. I will probably put my endurance up a little bit more just so I can do some more attack and roll strats, but ain't too bad so far. Ain't too bad so far. I'm just going to run through the camp here and take the grace on the other side. We don't need to worry about this. Like a metal mushroom cap? Yeah. Can't twirl the magnificent mustache with the helmet on? He can. He just has to reach underneath it. You can't see him twirling it, but you know he's twirling it. Just imagining like a little spark of the Frenzied Flame as he twirls his mustache. Love how you can just tuck the hammer away when you don't need it. This is very much the concept of hammer space, the sort of Looney Tunes thing of like, there is always somewhere that you can pull a hammer out from when you need it. When he's not twirling it, he's thinking about twirling it. Let's go with more faith. Hey, we have a couple more golden seeds. We're almost ready to up our flasks a couple more times. I might just use the remembrances and level up here if I can. Because any runes I can get at this point are good runes, and I'm pretty sure none of the remembrances I picked up are going to have anything else that I will need. We'll take one level here. Would be kind of cool if this weapon gets us done with the game at the lowest level that we've done so far. That'd be another interesting challenge. Like, part of me really wants to upgrade this weapon as high as it can go. Like, get basically, like, the highest stats that are reasonably possible to acquire. Like, get your strength and faith to, like, 60 or even 80. And just absolutely overpower everything. But if it's already pretty powerful, then I think it's perhaps even more interesting to look at it from the perspective of how low can we feasibly beat the game in terms of levels. Anyway, time to fight Omenkiller. Good opening. Get pancaked. Man, I love the extra tiny bit of damage that we get there. Gotta take this fight somewhat seriously, though, because Rivers of Blood is a really rough weapon to fight against. As a lot of PvP folks, I think, found out. Once everyone started using it for Melina. Alright, that is our flasks now at max. Absolutely squished, dude. And since we already killed Alexander back in the Radahn arena, we don't have the option of summoning him for this fight, so we are just going to have to go up here and do this. Taking on Fire Giant solo. I realize at this point we haven't done what I said we were going to do with Nefeli's quest. by which I mean do a bit of Rani's quest, meet Celavis, make Nefeli a puppet. I guess we can still do that after Fire Giant. I'm not sure where Nefeli goes. But either way, I think we're just cruising to the finish. If we can still find Nefeli after this, it'll be interesting. Maybe before we burn the Erd Tree, we should try that, though. In one hit, dude. In one hit. Unbelievable. That's wild. Wasn't expecting that to be a thing. I also have no idea how this thing would do if we, like, stay on Torrent and try and fight Fire Giant this way. I feel like that keeps us maneuverable. This is probably how you're meant to fight Fire Giant anyway, to be real. Oh, didn't have enough stamina left for a dodge. It certainly makes the fireballs a little bit more avoidable, although I couldn't avoid that because he swung the plate up into my head. Alright. This attack's gonna get him to phase 2, so let's make it count. Excuse me. There we go. Let's get a Fire Giant cutscene. Sorry. You prefer no Torrent for this fight? I think it's just because he rolls away so much in the later stages that you're supposed to run after him, but I also kind of prefer no Torrent for this fight. One who has seen the eye. Alright, let's do this fight. Oh yeah, he does take a ton of damage right there, so yeah, that's something we confirmed from last time. Also, this fight gets really loud at this point, so sorry about that. Yeah, confirmed from last time, he does genuinely take a ton of damage just because he rips his own leg off. Oh, ouch. Okay, can't swing at his junk, apparently. Oh, yikes, he fully fell on me. The problem right now is his weak spots are his eye and his hands, and all of those are above the ground. Except when he brings them down on you. Hi. Oh, I did that at the wrong time. I did that very much at the wrong time. I'm still alive, but I don't know for how long. Just use my last flask to bring Torrent back. It's probably a good move. Yeah, it's so difficult getting any kind of attacks off on him. Wonder if I can hit him in the eye with this. I mean, I can't right now. Okay, phase 1 is a dawdle. Phase 2 is a little more difficult. Being a melee main is part of the problem here. But we got no help with this, so we got to go in here and get it done. He blinked. He did blink. In fact, I might pause just outside the entrance here and quickly run to the bathroom. So, yeah, we'll leave it here for the moment, but I will be right back in just a few seconds. Okay, we're back. Let's get this done. I think the difficulty with Fire Giant is his whole fight really favors your character being versatile. Like, Phase 1 works so much better if you're a melee attacker. Phase 2 works so much better if you have ranged attacks. Ow. That one didn't start off great. We'll do again. Hate it when he pretends to be a volcano. Yeah. It is pretty rough. But the second phase is really, like, obviously he's shooting you with fireballs and stuff, so it's hard to stay at range too, but when you consider the fireballs are chasing you down, he drops on you when you get near him. He doesn't really have any kind of weak spots that come within melee range too often. It really is better if you have a ranged option available. Or magic. Which is sort of what I'm going for here, I think. Okay, good start. Oh, okay. Hello? Can I get around this, please? Oh, okay, this didn't start so great either. Up. Alright, we'll stay here. Oh, come on. That attack was going to land until the game decided it wasn't. It's also very loud now. And right then I had no stamina. Oh. Love to get the stagger. Unfortunately, don't really have a great way of hitting him after that. But there we go. Yeah, the Frenzied Burst just isn't all that useful against enemies like Fire Giants. The whole point of Madness incantations is that they are more effective against Tarnished-like enemies. And the Giant is not that. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. Mermicorn Queen, thanks so much for the 9 months. I think the only advantage I'm going to get here is to stay maneuverable, stay on Torrent, get around behind him, and just deal damage to whatever parts of him I can reach. Really isn't quite as impactful as you'd hope. Oh, come on. I was out of that. Unbelievable. Alright, how am I supposed to hit you? What's the idea here? In the head? Yeah, I think we'll try and bait out some of those melee attacks that he attempts and just get better at avoiding them instead of trying to give him the runaround. Because doing 300 damage at a time feels bad when you've been doing 2,000 to some of his weaker points. Maybe the Ash of War will come in handy here. Maybe it'll catch him in areas where the melee attack doesn't. But I think we'll probably shelve the incantations for now. He's possibly the enemy who is best equipped to not take damage from them because he is neither tarnished nor is he especially weak to fire. The biggest problem so far is keeping my stamina at a level where I can still, like, attack and evade. Get over here, big guy. Nice. What are we supposed to get the stagger on, though? Alright. Phase 2 it is. So, he has become Volcano. Now what? Yeah, now we aim for the fists when he does attacks like that, I guess. Okay, and we get 1,000 damage per hit when we do that, so that's not too bad. A little difficult to avoid the fireballs, but we'll do it. Oh, we got him in the eye. We got him in the eye. Yes. I can't believe I never get a crit in this phase. So that's awesome. Now we get on Torrent and we run. Okay, 1600 is good. Okay, so this is how you do this fight. I think I got him. I got him with the Frenzied Flame. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay, flame versus flame. Somehow I came out on top of that. Wild. Absolutely flabbergasted. A DBZ moment. Yeah, we had an energy wave battle at the end there. $807, $808, yeah, okay. We still need to put points into strength just for physical defense. Like, that's way more valuable. But quickly, let's return to the Roundtable hold and see if Nepheli is still there. Because obviously we haven't chosen to burn the Erd tree yet, so the state has not changed. Okay, perfect. Great. Good, good, good. Let's go meet Ranni. This feels like such a weird diversion, but one of the things I would like to do is still make a bad decision on Nepheli's behalf. Once again, because I've never really done this before. So once again, this is a really great exercise in making different decisions on different playthroughs, since we have so many playthroughs to experiment with. I'm especially happy about the fact that the Anvil Hammer actually does a little bit of fire damage, which means fighting finger creepers with it is going to be a little easier. Love the silhouette of Vyke's armor. I do love the way the cape is like wrapped around. And the armor itself is so cool. Really feels like a Frenzied Flame playthrough when you've got this armor set on. Ignore all of the traps. So satisfying, dude. It's not quite a one-shot, but the fire does the rest of the damage, and it's chef's kiss. Honestly, I don't know if I would have beat the Fire Giant if the Frenzied Flame hadn't done enough damage there. So, yeah, shout out Frenzied Flame for the carry. A few more smithing stones from these guys. Not that we need them at this stage, but we're on our third somber upgrade. Ranni is like, have you heard of the secret treasure of Nokron? I'm like, where's your mate Seluvis? Oh, the other advantage of coming here is we do get some more golden seeds and things, so. Don't mind if I do. Might actually fight my way up the staircase for once. Considering the weapon we're wielding. Embrace the chaos. Oh, he just went down into the floor and didn't come back out. Oh, this game. So satisfying, dude. Didn't even break a sweat on the way up this staircase. Hello, Loretta. Come out wherever you are. Absurdly OP for this point in the game, so... Use weapon art at all? Nope. I mean, I've used it here and there throughout the use of this weapon so far, but I haven't been using it all that much. Because honestly, I don't think it's the best part of this weapon. The best part of this weapon is it just dealing raw damage. Once again, the Anvil is the type of man who will ride a horse into somebody else's house. But if you install a freight elevator like this, I'm going to use it. Although maybe I have to get off in order to press the button. I can still hear the dragon walking around outside.
I believe I said pleaseth me to tarnish. I have no reason intrigue. Wilt thou? I am the wood that I might well. I see thou art a. Should I require? Tis good. Art thou a wit left to go there to? I like thee. Heed not there. I'm sure thee.
All right. So having not listened to Rani in the slightest, we're going to talk to the cronies, and then we're going to go and see Celavis and nobody else. And villain, baby. We don't play by the rules.
Oh, you've defeated a grand reward. Again, the Carrion I. Let us give together.
Yeah, the fun thing here is that we've already defeated Radahn, so we've done things slightly out of order. Blythe is not there.
I see. Yes. I don't know what it, since I asked. I and pay me should you, if it were up to me, but who am
I assume Blythe is already in the Everjail. If we've beaten Radahn. Imagine 2 of these hammers on New Game Plus. Absolute destruction. Like, dual wielding these, for a start, it would take so much stamina. Like, you would have to be an endurance build primarily, I feel like. But then on New Game Plus, you could obviously have a lot more runes to play around with, so... A few more stat points, huh? Two hammers, Steve.
well,
Handy, Andy.
do you not realize? Perhaps I'd like you to even you. Good. Now I shall
I accept.
find Nefel. I expect.
Alright, so here's the bit that I won't skip through the dialogue or whatever, because I have genuinely never done this before. Never given Nefeli the potion. I never trusted Celavis. He's clearly got terrible intentions, despite the fact that he works for Rani. So, I mean,
Ah, yes. I wonder if you've met my foster father. He's in his study. If you haven't already, father is leader. I'm sure talking to him will be worth your while. Is that some kind of medicine? One that affects the heart, I'd wager. If it's what I think, I have no need of it. I am a warrior. I need no external aid. Not to brave the horrors of battle, nor to bolster my resolve. It's about time I headed off. I'll see you again, warrior. It's about time. I'll see you again.
Interesting. So she turns it down.
I am known as a tarnished to I am you now belong. I understand. She's my daughter. I took her in, though I'm here.
Also, look at my foot right now. I'm like tapping my foot. What's going on here?
Put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her, despite her look.
Oh, so she accepts the potion when she's like... Interesting. Right. So, if you go back to Celivis now, does he say anything different? Or does he just say, like... I just want you to check in when your task is done, kind of thing. Yeah, definitely no patience for Gideon. But I guess we have to go and do Albinauric Village to get Nepheli to the point where she feels, like, conflicted or whatever, and then we give her the potion while she's vulnerable. That's even worse. That's so insidious, dude. We basically, like, take advantage of her and give her this potion. Plus, I guess it also doesn't happen in front of everybody that way, so it feels more discreet as an action for the player to take, but still, man, that's like, something only the Anvilin would do. I kind of want to see if Celivis has any dialogue that's like, I couldn't give her the potion kind of thing.
I've no time. The only thing are we and I have enough.
Okay, cool. So he doesn't say anything, right? In that case, we're going to go and do Albinauric Village. I did not realize that that was something that you couldn't do until Nepheli was at her lowest. I mean, it makes sense, but man, that's brutal. I'm genuinely worried about how difficult Malekith is going to be with a weapon this slow. Find the Albinauric woman. I think it's going to be an easy fight in terms of if I can get off a few good hits, he's going to go down quite quickly, but he's so maneuverable, like even more than Morgott. And Morgott was probably the hardest boss fight I've had so far, amazingly. Can you give her a hawk or a potion? Yeah. When the wind is southwesterly, she knows a hawk from a potion. Crab hammer. Crab hammer. Yeah, I think Nepheli leaves her Stormhawk axes behind in the Roundtable hold if you burnt the Erd Tree, so it's a good thing we're doing this now.
I witnessed a sight, the oppression awaking now. Put under the justice to let the scars.
Okay, so now if I go and rest at the Grace, is she then gone? Does it only change state if I get the medallion or defeat the Omenkiller? Or does she stay there? Because obviously taking out the Omenkiller and the Perfumer who's up here is going to be very satisfying if we have to do it. Yeah, she is still there. Okay, so we do have to at least accomplish our tasks here. I guess there is a state change to a Roundtable hold once you have the medallion, so that does kind of make sense. Anyway. So satisfying, dude. Let's find out what it is, just for the sake of future playthroughs. Let's see if it's Albus or if it's the Omenkiller. I think it's got to be Albus.
No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait. Well. Oh, we're finished.
Get away from me.
You must. And if then please
So now if we go back to Roundtable Hold, we get invaded, and then Nefeli should be down the stairs. The one-shots are just glorious. Oh. I haven't played Another Crab's Treasure. I've seen bits of it and I've heard of it, but have not played. Nefeli!
Oh, I didn't. What we doing? Just lay out here.
Remembered we could do that as well. Managed to kill Fire Giant with a not even fully upgraded situation. So maybe we do have to take out the Omenkiller, because Nefeli isn't there right now. So once again, we will take great delight in smashing this guy's face in. If it takes one attack or two, it makes no difference. And then across the bridge to the Omenkiller. Just gonna get a little OP here. Might as well get the rune arc from down here since we're here. Didn't even wake up the dogs. There we go. So now we can go back to Table of Lost Grace, and hopefully Nefeli should be there. Hammer reminds me of you talking about the mace. Yeah, one-shotting stuff with the mace. It's kind of the same deal.
No. I need to do better than this. This will never kill God.
Ah, you, please. Leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but I need to think. Ah, you, please. It's pathetic, I know.
So now we need to talk to Gideon. But we still have Celavis's potion, so it's not like we're blocked out of that.
Indeed. So I had honestly determined. I suspect a dose of...
Nobody tells me nothing. Hugo's kind of quiet.
Ah, you, please. It's pathetic. So you know already, right? For indulging my father, I would have done, and yet I betrayed him. And to think he'd... Where is the just? He once told me he would never... Was he simply... No. How could I... Father has... And now... Medicine, is it? Fine. I'll take a dose. Perhaps it'll do me some good.
See you later, Maybonix. Have a good one.
It's very sweet, isn't it? And very...
And that's it. It's very. Uh-oh. So if we rest at the table now, what happened to Nefeli? What happened to Gideon?
No. to do better than this. This will never kill a god.
Oh, okay, she's gone. Sweet.
What could do better than this? It needs to slay a bloody god.
Hugh is having his own story over there, his own crisis. Okay, Gideon has nothing to say about that. That's totally fine. Wasn't going to listen to him anyway. Now we return to Celavis. Once again, this is part that I have never seen, so I don't know how Celavis actually reacts if you give Nepheli the potion. Because all I know is the dialogue where you give it to Gideon and he's all like, well, I guess it wasn't strong enough or whatever, and then he just lets you into his confidence anyway.
Ah, so you made Nepheli drink the potion. Well done. Very well. Knowledge of the sorcerous arts, I doubt much if you put your... You wish well?
Okay, cool. So I think if we buy, like, one of these... Let's buy Ice Crag, even though we're never going to use it. None of these require faith or anything, so...
Begging for another...
See, I don't know if... In order to get into the whole puppetry thing, if you have to go to his, like, secret basement and find all of that stuff for him to, like, rope you in. But we can try that. Can't hurt. Not gonna get that anyway. Get up earlier than that to catch me, the Anvillain. So around here we have Finger Maiden Theralina, a couple of pages, this Omenkiller, who's presumably vaguely related to some of the other Omenkillers we've seen. Here is Jarwhite. Champion ahead. Kind of looks like Let Me Solo Her, of course. And here is Selen. No sign of Nepheli yet. But I wonder if we, like, rest at the Grace after this. Don't you need some Starlight Shards? I guess we do, and we don't have any of those yet, but we can get them from various places, right? Like, I know, there's some by Church of the Plague. There's a few here and there. You need them as currency to buy them off of Celavis, so it can't hurt to go and get them anyway. Here was the other the other opportunity we could have if we wanted to focus more on the Frenzied Flame incantations was start Millicent's quest line and then kill her at some stage to fast track to when Gowry allows you to kill him in order to get the Phlox Canvas Talisman, which is the one that increases the power of incantations in the same way that the Graven Mass Talisman increases sorceries. But again, I don't think I'm going to be focused too heavily on Frenzied Flame, considering how good this weapon is. Like, it would almost be doing a disservice to the Anvil Hammer, especially when we have future Frenzied Flame playthroughs coming up. At some stage, anyway. Oh, here we go. About your chambers.
You break into a man's private chambers? Oh, fish, fine and well. You trick me. I believe that you yearn. Well, but perhaps now.
So we have Finger Maiden Theralina, we have Dolores the Sleeping Arrow, we have Jar Right, or Jar White. I guess we'll take Dolores.
How's the puppet like a thing of
And then, I guess if we rest here and then we go and talk to him again, then he starts trading you the puppets for whoever you gave the potion to, whether it's Dung Eater or Nepheli. Obviously, this is a little bit less laborious with all of the back and forth to Celovus' Tower if you do this throughout the course of a playthrough instead of doing it all, like, at the last possible second like we're doing right now. Although I suppose with Nepheli successfully administered with the potion, we don't have to worry too much about burning the Erd Tree anymore.
begging for an begging for an
Maybe if we log out here and back in, it does it? I forget exactly how this works. Or maybe we need to collect more Starlight Shards for it.
begging for an that remains.
There we go.
What's that? You want another puppet? Quite the keen paramour, aren't we? But I'm afraid each and every one is like a child to me. I can hardly just give them away. Oh dear. What's to be done? Why don't you, if you the soul of it, and once, oh yes.
Alright, that's that. So now we have the option to buy more. Still not sure at what point Nepheli becomes available to use as a spirit summon, but either way, we can summon Shibriri for Horalu, so we don't need her for exactly the same thing as we got last time, but take a quick look down here just in case. Doesn't seem to be here, as far as I can tell. Not back here either. I guess maybe if we collect more Starlight Shards, she can show up or something. Either way, I think we're going to wrap this up by returning to Fire Giant and burning the Erd Tree. Because we gave Nepheli the potion, that's sort of the point. I think it would be kind of fun still to have her as a summon, but we can at least wrap up the stream here on the Frenzied Flame version of this cutscene and head off to Farum Azula for whatever the next stream will bring. She's not at his cellar? Apparently not right now. It may be that I need to log out and back in, or I need to rest at the Grace a couple more times. Sometimes events in this game seem to be like that. I'm sorry, Kiwi, I'm sorry. Unfortunate state of time zones, I suppose, but the VOD is still there if you want to catch back up. The VOD from Fantasy Minecraft SMP is also there as well. And they'll all be up on Pixel VODs after this too. This is the really interesting part as well, because you no longer have the option to talk to Melina at the Grace here, so instead you get the option to listen to the sounds of flame, which is kind of a poetic way of putting it. Has the SOS server ended already? Back in, like, June, yeah. Like, it only really went until right before 1.21 was released. Never seen this before, here you go. This is us becoming Melina for a little bit. I think it's really interesting that as far as like power goes, the only two individuals capable of burning the Erd Tree are Melina and the Tarnished, if you accept the branding of the three fingers. It's a branding exercise. But I'm genuinely kind of curious, like, what relationship Melina has to all of this that makes an empowered Frenzied Flame Lord Tarnished like this equivalent to Melina in power. Would Messmer be able? That's the thing. Probably. I think if Messmer was still in the Lands Between, or if he had come to the Lands Between at all, I'm not sure like what the deal is with the Land of Shadow, but I genuinely think he'd be capable of the same stuff Melina is. He just doesn't have the disposition for it, and Marika didn't want him to, because he was possessed by an abyssal serpent or whatever. So, once again, welcome to Farum Azula, Land of the Dragons. And we'll go and grab the Grace, and that's where we'll wrap things up for today. The more I know the lore, the less I know the lore. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It is one of those games where having answers just raises more questions, and I kind of love that about this game. Like, there are lots of people on the Reddit right now trying to work out what a particular frame of the DLC story trailer means. And there's a couple of people who have some very compelling theories, but there is genuinely no answer to it. They're like, we are clutching at straws here. We genuinely do not know what the deal is with this in particular. I think one of the best things about this weapon is, even though it's a heck of a hit, like, the tracking on it is so solid. Like, if an enemy swirls around behind you like these beastmen do a lot, if you're still swinging, the hit lands. And I think that's incredible. Also, we're still level 99. This is way lower a level than I would typically be at in Farum Azula. And we're one-shotting beastmen here. It's being helped by Radagon's Soul Seal, but my strength is only at like 43. Or 42 even. So fun to get creative with little crumbs of info you get. Absolutely it is. Right, friends. We have made it to Crumbling Beast Grave. We are looking pretty good as far as getting through Farum Azula goes. I might do some leveling between streams because we have the potential to finish this playthrough next time, and I don't want to have to stop midway through the last boss rush to go and, like, farm some birds. So maybe I'll get us to, like... What is the lowest level that our other characters reached? I know I added a few levels towards the end of some of these playthroughs because of fighting Elden Beast and getting some runes from that and everything, but, like, if we have... Oh, I also downloaded the character manager mod so that you can, or program rather, so you can sort these and archive some characters, so I'll be able to save all of these characters from older playthroughs when I run out of slots here, which I was getting to the point where I was running out of slots here. But the lowest level was... Actually, the last one we did, Dexter Rapier, it was only 146. So if we get to, like, level 125, 130, pump a few more points into some of these stats, then on Thursday we'll beat the Anvil and run easily. Like, if I spend an hour leveling up, we might finish the game in under 10 hours. I reckon we can do it. As long as, like, what's his name? Malekith doesn't give us too much trouble. Either way, folks, that's where we're going to be wrapping up the streams today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I definitely won't be on tomorrow because we have somebody coming back to continue doing some work on our bedroom, install a new wardrobe, possibly even do some decorating. So, yeah, I won't have time to stream tomorrow. I'll be working on Minecraft stuff in the afternoon, most likely. I'm going to send you folks over to Soup for Eloise, who is streaming from Fantasy SMP. Mythical Sausage is also online. And it looks like they are in a really cool-looking biome from the looks of things. I don't know if this is like a cave biome. It looks like there's skulk stuff going on. Or maybe they're in a different dimension. And it doesn't look like they've gone to the end yet, but let's find out, I suppose. We'll raid Eloise. And I'll be back with you folks on Thursday. Once again, we might have somebody doing work on the house on Thursday, but either way, I will get some stream time in on that day, I'm sure. Thanks for being here, folks. Hope you're enjoying the Elden Ring playthroughs. These will be up on Pixel VODs later. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, have a good one, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.